Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23. This is Lions, and it's episode number 10. Already at 10 episodes. I feel like we just started. I'm still super excited for the prospects and what's to come. And this is probably one of the most pivotal moments of the entire series happening right now. Because to get better, we are going to have to improve our finances. Have to. But in the current state of things, doing so has been rather difficult, in particular without those national championships to help us out. For the second year running, we haven't had it. Speaking of, at this point, most of you will have, nearly all of you will have noticed that there's still names that are incorrect within the database and whatnot. And I have confirmed that the database was updated. However, generally, when you're in a playthrough like this, the updates in the past years of this game, the updates always tick over on the 1st of January. You get the new selection of races, you get those changes. I got to the 1st of January for this second year pretty dang quick, and I don't know if that was before or after there was an update. So I'm giving it one more, so we'll get to the 1st of January again, and if it hasn't updated, I have an editor, so I will be able to go in and fix names at the very least, but it would appear, if that's the case, that I'll never, for whatever reason, it's not updating, if that's the case. And we'll be short national championships, which means I'll never get a free boost. And that just makes the challenge tougher, and that's not a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's a good thing. If it's tough, it's tough. So be it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. It just means that things like sponsor confidence become that much more pivotal. Speaking of pivotal, we have 2 chances left to either stabilize or improve the sponsor confidence. And if you look... Let's see, what would that be on your screen? My left. You can see that right now it's just barely into the green. Actually, it's better than it was. We had a recent result that created a little bit of a boost for that to put it a little bit further above neutral. But neutral is the yellow, meaning we'll have no change in our finances for next year. Green will have a positive change, though not significant. And it looks like we're probably out of reach for blue. But the 2 results that remain to make the decision, because it's on the last of July, final day of July. So we are coming up on it. And we have 2 races. Top 5 right now for GP Crunch, which is a sprint race. And then a stage win for Castilla Leon. 2 ridiculously hard tasks, especially when Castilla Leon is only 2 stages long. We only get 2 chances to win a stage, but they are punchy stages, and those tend to be our best opportunity to maybe pull that off. If we fail both of these, especially if we red X fail and not just, partial fail, I strongly believe that we're going to be back down in the yellow and have no change, even though we've been better this year, and still have no change in the finances for next year. By the way, a partial success, 65% evaluation, which I'd say, right now we're probably at about 68, 69%, is still only an increase of 7,000. But an increase is an increase, and that's $7,000 that we can spend on rider salary. But if things weren't difficult enough already, they got more difficult. That last race where we got a top 3 out of Zerai and a stage win, that's what boosted us a little bit. In that same race, we lost Arafane to a fractured vertebrae, and that's going to see him miss both of these races. Now, the punchy one, no big deal. But as my primary lead-out rider, if we're going to score a top 5 in a sprint race with 1 mediocre sprinter and no lead out riders, I'm going to need some luck. I'm going to need a good race day condition. Everyone, except for Arafane, was one of them, so his replacement, Shimway, does not count. Shimway just leveled up to a 3-star guy. Time trialist. But, you know, mid upper 60s for a lot of things makes him tolerable for us. But other than a Shimway, everybody's on the objective. Everybody's got the high level fitness. Let's hope we get a lot of good race day condition bonuses. Gonna need it. We've got 50k to go, and we're on a closed loop circuit for this one. And here's the finish. There's a right, a left, and then you've got a little uphill push in the final 100 meters. It's technical. The road gets skinny. The road suddenly gets steep. This closed loop, you have a hill here, short and steep. Definitely not far from the finish. Then it flattens out for a little bit here. We're going to have this sharp left-hander right here. With the downhill, you get a big swing of momentum as you come out of there. And then you have this short, really steep hill. Descends very quick. It's got that little jink in the road. You've got this right, you've got this left, you've got the right and the uphill at the finish. It's hard to judge just what can be pushed out of that. Gibbons has a +2. Kudus has a +4. Gabreyev has a +5. Shimway, overall, we're looking pretty good. It is actually a negative draw compared to what was expected for the day, but you'll take it. Abdi on a -1 really isn't hurting us. Zerai only getting that 0. Peloton starting to split a little bit. 7 riders in the break. Still have a 2-minute advantage with just 27k left to go. We're down to a couple of laps here, so we're definitely getting down to it. And the intensity is about to increase significantly. So we're going to now speed up to about an 83 here and make sure we're holding our position. Peloton down to 61. Gap still minute 45, 6k, and we only pulled back, what, 15 seconds? Okay, up to 85. We only have to hit that hill one more time, and here's the big acceleration. And this is going to start to take its toll on our guys. Peloton has split once again. 23 riders chasing 7. Yeah, it's yo-yoing. 15k though. I mean, this is really getting close. Still one more lap to come through though. It's a pretty short circuit. Okay, 14k. There's that hill. Technically, there's 3 hills because you have the finish as well. But let's go ahead and get our first guy to gel up here at 14k. Zerai will gel up here a moment later. 13k. And a minute 36 to those 7. We've got to... It's time. It is time. Abdia working on trying to get us out front now. He'll take to the outside. That's fine for now, as we tried to lead the team through. Still a minute 35. We only pulled back another 10 seconds over the last handful of kilometers, though once I get to the front, we should start pulling it back relatively quick. 9. Gosh, this is going too fast. Abdia, out of red bar. So on to Zerai, 8.5k. And it's so technical that we are struggling to gain on these guys. We're struggling just to get to the front. I mean, Zerai's going 99, full gas, and he cannot get us up there. Finally, he does, but we're at 6k. Orgato trying to attack onto a Shimway. 5k. I see him, but are we going to catch them? We've definitely pulled back time. Shimway done. This is just full gas territory for anyone, everyone. Shimway, get out of the way. We've split the field 23, but getting a top 5 requires catching those 7 guys, and it's not looking good right now that they are going to be caught. Mansouri starting his sprint. Gabrayevic. Kudos. Final kilometer. The breakaway takes the fucking win. We're going to get a top 10. Does Kudos get the throw for 8th? He does! Oh, that stupid breakaway. If the breakaway is not there, Kudos wins the stupid race. It's a partial failure as the breakaway claims the top 7 positions. Peloton not chasing hard enough. By the way, it was not up to us. I didn't have a single rider in the top 10 favorites for this race. Not one. It was not our duty to chase that thing down. But the chase did not succeed. One rider is dropped from the front 7, but he comfortably takes 7th place, as we still didn't even manage to catch up to him. I should have known. I knew that it was technical. I knew that you could stay away a little bit longer, that you could go a little bit earlier. I knew the punchiness at the end could have favored Kudos over Gibbons. I was going to bring that up with you, but things got intense a little too fast there at the end of the stage, going, wait, this is not coming down. And just that, the way that loop was, how technical it was, catching those guys was a lot harder than it could have or should have been, and the chase should have started a lot sooner. And other teams absolutely just did not pick it up properly, and I picked it up 15k out, usually a minute and a half, 15k, no problem. But because of how technical it was, we had a hard time just getting to the front of the field, even going 99, even sprinting super early. We still had plenty in the tank. Just wow. We win the sprint and still freaking lose the day. Not good for what we need, especially when the next objective is a stage win. How are we going to get a stage win with only 2 chances? 4 riders in the break. Again, this is stage win requirement here, so finishing 5th would do no good. Those 4 have to be caught. Their gap was over 4 minutes. I did not like how big that was, considering how short the stage was, but it is coming down quickly, down to 2.5 minutes. They aren't holding out very well. I'm pushing an 82 and struggling to hold position on this hill. It's a punchy stage, but when you look at the profile, it's really not that bad. There's a very decent chance that at the very back of a train that Gibbons might hold out, and he might not. But with a plus 26 expected net race day condition, which we got nowhere near, we've got plus 21. That's kind of standard. That's run of the mill. The way the draws work, you're not going to get a plus 26. But Gibbons only a plus 3, Kudos only a plus 4, when both were expected plus 5s. So they both get negative draws, combined -3 between them. Could have been better, but it's still good, and it's much better than what we had at GP Crunch. And this is a stage that, on paper, they say it's punchy. I'm looking at a profile here going, well, wait a second. I think Gibbons can hold out and turn it into a sprint against the punchers, who might have acceleration but aren't going to have the top speed, who might have a hills rating but don't have a sprint rating. We've got a chance. But there is definitely some climbing. There's definitely some undulation along there, and we are definitely just 21 kilometers out now. There's another little hill here in between. I'm going to form up on that hill. I'm going to wait that little bit longer, but you can see we probably need to be pushing 85 and get back in position while we navigate that hill. This being that hill right now. Now 19k. You can See a Shimway struggling to hold, so actually maybe I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Front four down to inside a minute, meaning their time is very limited. This is where I wanted to form up, but it's still 17K out. You know what? I'm sticking to my guns. We are going for a win. We are not trying to hang on here. We are going to have to be aggressive if we're going to go for that win, so... Okay, Abdia, I don't want to get dropped, so we are going to start aggressive with Abdia. We're going to go ahead and gel up with Mansouri as well. Now, I don't need to stay aggressive because it's 15.5K. Front group is starting to disintegrate, but also not very far ahead anyway. There is some firepower in this field. There is one rider with an 80 hills rating. Winning a stage out of these two is going to be incredibly difficult. Abdia doing the dirty work right now. Doesn't have the red bar, but he is doing the dirty work to help keep us in position. And as long as he is, I'm going to continue to utilize him because he's protecting Gibbons, he's protecting Kudos and Gabrevit. So the longer I can keep him on the front, the better. Even if he's in and out of red bar, there's so much undulation on here. He's actually gotten us to the front. Last two riders are right there. Seeing a big acceleration by Honore. 78 hills. There's your 80 Decathlon. Okay, this is the steepest portion right here, right now. There's not as much left after this. We're getting close. I think I need to move on to Mansouri and let Abdia get out of the way. Yeah, that was the big acceleration. But they have not escaped, and we are still right here. 9K. Mansouri picks up a King of the Mountains point there. 6 of them. Shimway gets a couple. And now Mansouri leads us. And now the punchers have no chance. We have negated the punchers. Gel. There's going to be a big downhill. Not a big downhill, but there's going to be a downhill. And we're going to get onto it with a Shimway, Mansouri. Down to 92 riders. There's still 92 riders here, but it's stretched, and we've just turned it into a sprint race. 3.5. On to Zerai, 2.9. .2 sprinting. There is an uphill at the finish. 1.3 sprinting. Kudos sprinting. And Gibbons sprinting. Let's go, Gabrevit. Let's go, Gabrevit. Hang on, dude. Hang on, dude. Hang on. Yes! One of the biggest PCM wins that I've ever had in all the years. Right there. Right freaking there. Gabrevit. Not much red bar left. Push it to the end. Kudos only 6th. Gibbons only 13th. He wasn't punchy enough. He was fading instead of coming on strong. Gabrevit with that +5. And the lead out for Kudos, but Kudos couldn't overtake him. I went at the right time with Gabrevit. We had the track position. We started from the front foot. The others had to chase, had to catch. They were stronger, they were better, they were faster. But they were chasing Gibbons and Kudos. Gabrevit had an even better advantage positionally. Yeah. For 7K. For freaking 7K. It's not going to bump us up to a super success. But it's going to lock in success. I don't know what we're going to do overall regarding this race, but because of our position, because we have the leader's jersey, and it's only a 2-stage race, I figured, why the hell not? Let's get every bonus we can. And wouldn't it be amazing if we somehow win the overall, say win another stage, and get a huge plus, get a huge bonus? Maybe, just maybe, we crack the top level. It's probably not going to happen, but hey, it's one stage, it's worth a shot. So Mansouri's been working on the front. He's now out of energy, but there's still a chase happening. Others finally stepping forward, wanting the stage here in the final 30K. There was one other rider working with Mansouri this whole time. But you can see the fatigue. There's absolute fatigue in the legs before we get to the final climb. Now, there is a descent, so there's a little recovery, but that's a short, steep Cat 2 climb. That is 2.5K, 8%, but gets up to 12.5, and then you're not quite to the finish yet, and it finishes on a slight uphill again. But we're seeing now with 17K to go, there's some riders trying to go clear. I got two guys that are very tired, but we've got the descent coming. We need to set this up a little earlier than expected. The climb itself is only 2.5K plus finish line. Let's see, 172. It's probably about 2K from the finish, so 4.5K out is where you start climbing. Gabrayevet, as the overall leader, is going to follow Kudos this time. Then Zerai looking pretty good today, and then Gibbons, and then okay, yeah, that's what we're down to. That's definitely not Go 99 territory, but Gibbons is going to lead this thing out. He's got to get us through the descent, and then we'll have 3 guys for that climb. It's not going to be flat out territory. There you go, the front's been caught. He can really back off now. The others have nothing to contribute, so we're not going to ask him to. Gibbons, gel kicks in, and the descent is going to start. He's got a 76 flat with he finally gets a +5 when it's not his day, not his stage. Does not matter. Okay, but the descent's going to go fast, and he's going to be quick enough. Mansouri protecting. How about a Shimway? Are you? No, they are feeling better because they drifted backwards. Okay, gel for Zerai. Getting some recovery. That's actually worrying that we're getting recovery for those guys. And here we go. There's the bottom. Gibbons out of energy, and Zerai takes over 2K from the top. Pushing 95. Gel for Kudos. This is keeping everybody else at bay. Let's make it last a little bit longer here. Okay, now 99. 3K out. How are we doing? 600 meters to the top. 2.4K. Here we go. Gotta respond. Yep, he did not have enough. 1.3K, sprinting, not capable of winning this sprint if others can come on strong, and there is 2 coming on strong. We're going to get a podium with Kudos. Shaw, Brambila, hang on, take the win. Gabrayevet, I would have liked if he got 3rd instead of Kudos, because he would have picked up 4 seconds, which would be enough for the overall win. But that's going to keep him on the podium, at least 2nd. Does James get the win overall? Gabrayevet did it first and had a better average finish over 2 stages. Countback might keep him ahead. We'll see. Either way, we got a stage win and a podium. And definitely an overall top 3. First things first. Same time. So no time gaps are given. Gabrayevet keeps the win. He does keep the win. The countback, he did it first. He had that time gap first. Shaw did not take it away from him. Brambila moves into 3rd to round out the podium, but Kudos gets 4th overall. Zorai gets 15th overall, so we get first overall. We get a stage win. We get another guy in the top 5. What kind of bonuses can that give us? I don't know if it's enough, but we sure as hell got at least a success. So disappointing that it's not enough for a super success, but it is plenty for a success. What a huge, huge result for us. We needed that. We really needed that. That's 7K more to put into riders, and I'm excited for it. Our balance is good. We've been neutral throughout this year, but our December payout was massive compared to what it normally is in this game. I would expect our December payout again this year to be pretty dang good. I'm not worried about losing some money over the course of the next season. We can spend the money on some riders to get better. I don't necessarily need to be pushing for Continental Pro. I don't really want to push for Continental Pro anyway. I don't mind us being a Continental team for now, but I want to have that money available and use it if necessary. That brings us to our signing period. I'm only going to take care of one element of this right now, and that being Zulu Kingdom is going to remain our sponsor. Obviously, it's going to be a rarity to find an African one, and I will not force the issue by making up an African sponsor until at the very least we have reached our maximum. So for now, we push to 67,000, up from 60,000. It is an increase of more than 10%, just over, so it's not nothing. It was hard fought. Man, oh man, was that the hardest 7K that I've ever fought for in this game. But we've got to make progress if we are going to, in the grand scheme of things, find a way to improve the database. So that was important. That was an important 7K. That is going to do it for this episode, though. You know what's coming next. It's that signing special. We'll see what's out there, what we can get. I'm excited. I'll tell you now, though, new prospects, haven't really seen anything yet promising. So that first year group, a little bit stronger. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.